Good morning, children. Till now, we have done the different projects, wildlife protection schemes, and different projects like tiger project, elephant project, uh, rhino project, vulture project, and snow leopard project. Now we have to see what is sanctuaries, national parks, and bioreserves. Sanctuaries, national parks, and bioreserves are established for the protection of wildlife. All these three words sound like synonyms, but there is some difference. So we have to study that. First of all, we'll see the sanctuary. Human activities are permitted within certain limit. So what I am talking about in sanctuary, what happens? The activities are permitted within certain limit. Domesticated animals can be allowed to graze after due permission from the authorities. Wildlife sanctuaries is established for the protection of some species. The sanctuary can be established by the government after certain process. So here are some names of the sanctuaries. Periyar, Chandraprabha, Etunaragam, etc. are the famous sanctuaries. If you see this map, 9.3, in this, major national parks and sanctuaries are given. You have to do this map and then paste it in your notebook. See it clearly. In this, wildlife sanctuary, bird sanctuary, and national parks are shown. So you also have to do the same. Then comes the national park. Compared to the sanctuary, this is more protected zone. Sanctuary, it was what the human activities were permitted, but they were having certain limit. The permission was given by the authority for the animals to graze. The domesticated animal can be grazed in that area. In national park, if you are comparing this with the sanctuary, here this is more protected zone. More than one ecosystem included here. There is a complete ban on animal grazing. No animal grazing in this area. It is not centered around one species as in the sanctuary. In sanctuary, a particular animal is being, the species is being kept, protected. But here it is more than one species is protected. It is established through the coordination of state and central government. Now these are the names: Kaziranga, Corbett, Velavada, Marine National Park, Gir, the Chigam, etc. These are the important national parks. The next is bioreserve zone. So what I told you all, there are three, that is sanctuaries, national parks, and bioreserves. Sanctuaries we have gone through. The map is also here, which you have to do it in your notebook. Then was national park. Now it is bioreserve zone. It is formed according to international norms. The international norms are being followed in this bioreserve zone. The purpose is to protect the physical and cultural diversity of any region. That means the region, wherever this place is being reserved, they have to protect it cultural wise as well as physically. Besides all vegetation, insects, and land of that area, the lifestyle of the people living there is also protected. See, we are talking about region. In region, what comes? Vegetation, insects, land of that area, and even the people, those who are living, are being protected in bioreserve zone. This is your 2.1 answer. Also, special arrangements are created for research and training about bioreserves. In such proclaimed area, all external human movements are totally restricted. The average area of such zone is larger than 5,000 square kilometers. Nilgiri, Gulf of Mannar, Great Nicobar, Sundarban, Pachmadi, they are considered to be the important bioreserves of the nation. The Rann of Kutch of Gujarat is declared as bioreserve zone in the year 2008 to protect its special environmental condition. Now just see, in India total bioprotection zones are 18, national parks are 103 and sanctuaries are 531. In Gujarat, 1 bioprotection zone, 4 national park and 23 sanctuaries. Now developmental process is inevitable, but along with it, it is necessary that we keep in mind its all effects on the entire life system while planning. See, development process is inevitable, it is required, but it is also necessary that we must keep in the mind the effects on the entire life system while planning. Whenever one species is completely destroyed or is in danger, the results of the disturbance in the food chain are far-reaching. See, if any of the species is in danger, the full cycle is getting disturbed. Food chain will be disturbed. So you have to plan it properly. In food chain, every insect has a specific role. If a life is lost, the entire structure experiences disturbance. So it is a cycle. If any of the insect or any of the species is getting destroyed, the whole cycle is going to disturb. So it has to be taken proper care. If one species is removed, the natural system breaks down in long run. These effects reach man very late, hence we are not aware of it. ये हमें बड़ी देर से पता चला, उसके पहले हमें पता ही नहीं था और अब मुश्किल है, बहुत मुश्किल से इस चीज़ को हमें पार करना है. Those environmental dangers which we are following are the result of carelessness developed before decades. If we have planned development, there will not be any problem. So friendly approach with the environment is the need of present day. Children, you have to read each and every word of your lesson. The question answers are already marked in your textbook. Which pages you can see on this is already being given there. It is marked, and I will also be sending you the page numbers on which your answers are marked. So you have to write all the question answers in your notebook. 1 or 2 answers I may be sending you the note of it. So please, you have to prepare your notebooks properly and go through it. Thank you.